She looks at you like you're everything, like you matter more than anyone else. And for a moment you believe it. You think you've finally found real love. But Schopenhauer warned, what you're seeing isn't love. It's a performance. She's not in love with you. She's in love with what you represent. You think you're being seen for who you are. But that's the illusion. You're being measured, scanned, compared to an image she already carries in her mind. She doesn't love you. She loves the version of you that fits her needs, the strong man, the safe man, the exciting man, whatever fantasy she's built, she just hopes you'll play the part. And you go along with it. Not because you're weak, but because no one ever told you this game was happening. You think this is love, you think she chose you. But you weren't chosen. You were selected, like an actor for a role in a story that was written before she met you. Schopenhauer believed romantic love is not deep or pure, it's instinct. Nature's trick to get men to serve a purpose, protect, provide, reproduce. Everything else, just decoration. The compliments, the laughter, the warmth. It feels real, but often it's just part of the show. And when the show ends, you're left with silence, confusion, pain, not because you lost something real, but because the illusion shattered. You didn't lose love. You lost the role you were cast to play. That's the real danger. You never knew it was an act. You thought this was your moment. You thought someone finally saw the real you. But what she saw was the image. And when you stopped matching that image, her feelings changed. Fast. You weren't loved. You were used. Not with cruelty, not with evil intentions, but with instinct, survival. Nature doesn't care if your heart breaks. It only cares that the game keeps going. And Schopenhauer, he wasn't bitter. He was honest. He saw what most men still can't see. What you call love is often just a mirror reflecting what she wants. And if you don't match it, she'll replace you with someone who does. That's not love, that's illusion. And until you see it for what it is, you'll keep falling for it again and again. If you don't see this for what it is, your life will become a cycle you can't escape. You'll keep falling for women who don't love you, only the idea of you. You'll keep chasing the same feeling, the same spark, thinking this time it's real. And every time you'll be left wondering, what did I do wrong? But it's not about what you did. It's about what you never understood. Schopenhauer warned that men who don't wake up to this truth become slaves, not physically, but emotionally. Slaves to attention, slaves to praise, slaves to the need to be chosen. And when that praise disappears, you fall apart. You don't just lose her, you lose yourself. That's the real cost. Not heartbreak, not rejection, but the destruction of your identity. Because if you keep thinking a woman's love is what makes you a man, you'll spend your whole life performing, trying to be what she wants, changing your shape, your voice, your beliefs just to stay chosen. And when she gets bored, she won't fix the story. She'll replace the actor. And the worst part? You'll blame yourself. You'll think you weren't strong enough, funny enough, attractive enough. But the truth is, you were never the main character. You were just filling a role she created before she ever knew you. And when you stop playing it perfectly, she moves on. No warning, no explanation. You'll be left in the dark, replaying every moment, begging for closure. But there is no closure for a man who never knew he was in someone else's fantasy. Schopenhauer saw this clearly. He believed most men live their lives trying to earn love, believing it will complete them. But love, when it's based on illusion, only takes from you. It empties you, and it leaves you hollow. If you don't wake up, you'll live in that hollow space forever, trapped in roles you never chose, betrayed by women who never really saw you, and worst of all, completely disconnected from who you really are. That's what's at stake. Not just your heart, not just your time, your soul. You didn't fall in love with her. You fell in love with the version of her that fit your emotional wounds. She gave you the pieces you were missing, attention when you felt invisible, comfort when you felt broken, admiration when you felt unsure of yourself, and you thought it was real. You thought it was her, but it wasn't. It was your own pain, reflected back at you in the form of her smile. Most modern love works like this. It's not connection, it's projection. You meet someone, and instead of seeing them for who they really are, you see what you need them to be, and they do the same to you. So you end up with two people both wearing masks, pretending this is something deep, when it's actually a silent deal between two lost souls. Men, especially, fall into this trap. From a young age, you're taught to see women as your emotional solution. She'll fix you, she'll save you, she'll finally make you feel whole. So when she shows interest, you chase her, you give everything, you open up, thinking that the more you share, the more she'll love the real you. But you're not sharing love. You're handing over power. You shape yourself into the man you think she wants. You speak softer. You hide your frustration. You avoid saying what you really feel, all to protect the connection. But in doing that, you erase yourself. You disappear. And eventually, the relationship becomes one-sided. You become obedient, predictable, easy to control. And here's the part no one warns you about. Her affection? It might not be natural. It might be a strategy. Not a conscious plan to hurt you, but an instinct. One designed to keep her safe, in control, and emotionally ahead. She may not even realize it. But what you experience as love is often her reading your emotions and giving back just enough to keep you close. Just enough to keep the performance going. Until one day she stops. She goes cold. She pulls away. And you feel like everything falls apart. But what really fell apart? The fantasy. She didn't change. She just stopped pretending. And the pain you feel isn't heartbreak, it's identity loss. You built your self-worth around how she made you feel. And when she left, it wasn't just her you lost. You lost the version of yourself you only felt when she was around. That's why Schopenhauer believed the only way out is to stop looking outward. Real strength begins when you no longer need her to tell you who you are, when your value doesn't rise or fall based on her attention. The moment you stop chasing is the moment you start waking up. You begin to realize love isn't about being completed. It's about being whole already. And from that place of stillness, you stop trying to impress. You stop performing. You stop needing to be chosen because you finally choose yourself. Schopenhauer didn't romanticize women. He didn't see them as angels or monsters. He saw them as part of nature. And nature, in his eyes, had one goal: survival. He believed women were driven not by love, but by instinct. Behind the beauty, the softness, and the charm was something cold and calculated. A deep biological program to secure safety, protection, and resources. He wrote that romantic love is just nature's trick to blind men, to make them chase, commit, sacrifice, but not for the sake of connection, for the sake of reproduction. In his words, women are not evil. They are practical, adaptive, survivors. They do what works, and often that means mirroring the man's needs to hold his attention until something better comes along. To Schopenhauer, what men call love is often nothing more than an illusion built to trap them. And the trap works because men want to believe. They see the softness, the affection, the praise, and they think it means something deep, but to her it may be strategy, nothing more. That's not bitterness. That's reality. And if you don't learn to see it, you'll keep falling for the performance every time. Most men don't see the trap because they're too busy trying to be chosen. You're taught that love is something you earn. So you work for it. You listen, agree, adapt. You smile when you want to scream. You say yes when you want to say no. You make yourself smaller, softer, easier, just to keep her happy. You think that's love, but it's not. It's performance. Schopenhauer saw this clearly. He believed that men lie to themselves more than women lie to them. You tell yourself she loves you for you, when deep down, you know. You've been bending, changing, shaping yourself to match her needs. You gave her the script and she cast you in the role. But here's the truth. If she loved the real you, you wouldn't feel so tired, so drained, so replaceable. The moment you stop playing the role, she pulls back. Not because you failed, but because the fantasy is broken. And she was never in love with you. Just the version of you that served her story. You weren't rejected. You were never truly accepted to begin with. And that's the heartbreak most men never recover from. Schopenhauer didn't believe in fairy tales. He believed in freedom. Brutal, honest freedom. He called it pessimism. But it wasn't weakness. It was clarity. He stripped away the illusions and looked at the world without the romance, without the lies. And in that, he found power. When a man sees through the game, he stops chasing, he stops begging to be seen. He becomes dangerous, not because he's cruel, but because he's free. You no longer try to impress. You no longer shape yourself to be loved. You stand still. And in that stillness, women feel something they can't explain. You're not needy. You're not desperate. You're whole. And here's the irony. Once you stop needing her, that's when she wants you most. Not because you tricked her, but because you finally became real. This is the path Schopenhauer pointed to. Cold, lonely, but honest. And only from that place can anything true begin. Let go of the fantasy. That's the first step. You keep thinking the right woman will save you. That if you love her hard enough, if you prove yourself, she'll finally choose you. But that dream is killing you. Because it's not love. It's a performance. And it's costing you your soul. You don't need to be chosen, you need to choose yourself. Schopenhauer didn't offer hope, he offered a warning. If you live your life seeking validation from women, you will never know who you are. You'll be a mask, a role, a man waiting for applause that never comes. But if you stop chasing, if you face your emptiness, your silence, your fear, you'll become something else. Whole, still, unshakable. And from that place, if love comes, it's real. Not because you need her, but because you don't. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop performing? Are you ready to let the false version of you die? Because that's where it begins. That's when the real man shows up, and when he does, everything changes.